All right, I think we are live.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Happy 2023.
Uh, oh, I had one of those little New Year's Eve blowers that I thought was right next to me, but it's not. So you can just imagine.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our very first virtual write-in of the brand new year, which makes sense because the year is only 5 days old. And this is one that I kind of look forward to. We do virtual write-ins during NaNoWriMo. We do them during camps, which is another event we put on. And we sprinkle them throughout the year, but this is our New Year's writing resolutions virtual write-in, which we started as a tradition. I don't know how many years ago, maybe it was 2020, which it
It might
was
have
like,
been.
definitely didn't keep any of those resolutions. Um, but hopefully we can, the goal of today, so during NaNoWriMo or during writing events, the goal is always to write as much as we can. And if you're working on a project and you like writing a lot and you want to use this time when we do some sprints to write a bunch of words on your project, that's great. If you maybe aren't working on a project, or maybe you have been off your writing like habit for a little bit, like we can use this as a chance to kind of just ease back into the creative writing.
Yeah.
I don't know the noun. Turns out I need to ease in. I was
We're
gonna
going
say,
up.
my creative brain needs like a little, it needs this. It needs like some time to hang out with everybody and spend some
Yeah.
time writing.
I always feel like a little jump start of like talking to other writers and creative people and like having other people be excited about it too. It's really helpful for me. But
Totally. And
also, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think we've introduced ourselves
That's what
yet.
I was gonna say.
Hey, same wavelength. But yeah, some of you may be returning writers. Some of you may recognize us. But if you don't, or if you're new, my name is Catherine. I am the communications director at NaNoWriMo, and my pronouns are she, her, or they, them.
And my name is Mariah, and I'm the director of programs at NaNoWriMo. My pronouns. Did I say director of pronouns, or was my brain just going?
I don't know.
I'm so the new year is still like my brain is still like getting used to it. I'm the director of programs, and my pronouns are she, her.
Great. All right. Well, we'll think about hiring a director of pronouns. How's that?
Yeah.
Um,
With I was just going to say the way these virtual write-ins work is we're going to throughout this hour we'll offer some writing prompts and we'll do some writing together as fast as we can, sometimes with sprints or at your own pace. That's you usually go really slowly. And then we'll have some time to share. You can, say hi in the chat. You can drop in where you're writing from. You could drop in, what you're working on right now, or you could just lurk. That's what I would do.
I'm a lurker.
Yeah, but it's our chance. If you don't want to be a lurker, it's our chance to kind of, meet each other, write together.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Speaking of writing,
speaking of writing,
shall we start on our first prompt?
sure. So this first prompt is about your creativity resolution for 2023. So I'll give you a couple questions and we're going to take about 5 minutes and you can just kind of write free form on these questions. So 1, what are your writing goals? 2, why is writing important to you? 3, what other things would you like to try to do to feed your creativity? This could be any kind of creative habit. It could be journaling. It could be making candles. It could be, I don't know, one time I tried to take up needlepoint. Basically, like, let's take this time to think about your writing, your creativity, and what you would like to try to do in 2023. And like I said, we're going to do 5 minutes.
Yeah, the timer.
I do have a timer this time.
Great. I
Usually
also want to say that Tanya says I'm the director of lurking. So
yeah. How many people, when you try to open the timer, open the calculator? Like, how often would you say you do that?
I do that. Yeah, I do that all the time.
I do it about 50% of the time. And then I just stare at it and think, what am I doing here? 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. That was 5 minutes. Sorry, I could have given you a halfway point, but I kind of forgot that I was the one timing it. So go ahead and, stop where you are or finish up what you're doing, or keep going if you're, feeling inspired. But if you'd like to, you can share in the chat. I see some people already did. If you want to share something that you wrote, what is, one of your creative resolutions? What are you planning to do to feed your creativity? What would you like to do? I'll share mine right now with you and Catherine. I have been working on this novel for so long, and I got it so close to finished, and then I had a baby in May last year, and I haven't opened it since. So it's like 7.5 months since I haven't even opened the document. So my very first goal is seems silly, but I'm gonna open it up because I have this weird mental block around it where I'm just too scared. Do you know what I mean? I might even get someone else to open it for me so I can look at it. I'm not kidding. And then I just want to kind of read through it again, because I feel like once I start reading through it again, I'll have brand new ideas and I'll think of ways I could improve it. And then I really, 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 by the end of this year, I feel like I'm giving myself such a long time, but I want to just query an agent, at least one agent, right? I don't need to get accepted or anything. I just want to see what that's like, I guess. Catherine, did you have one?
Yeah, I like your resolution. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Mine is kind of similar because I've been having some blocks of just a lot of stuff going on in my life that it just feels like creativity has been really hard for me to access. So just getting to a point where I'm yeah, I just wanna sit down and do something creative for an afternoon.
Yeah.
I kind of did that, and it had nothing to do with writing, but a couple weeks ago, I sat down and I refurbished my favorite stuffed animal from when I was a kid, 25-year-old stuffed animal, and restuffed it and replaced things that were broken and stuff. And that, even just that little bit of creativity, I was oh, this feels really nice. So just finding little projects like that.
And I think it doesn't have to be about writing to make your writing better. I just feel like anything that I do that's not just looking at my phone or just being a blob, it helps me, I don't know, feel more creative. Every little thing you do makes it easier and easier. It's like exercise. Where I'm I can't exercise, and then I'll do one little thing and I'm oh, that wasn't so bad, and then I'll do the next one. I just cannot get myself to do the first thing. It's so hard.
It's so hard. Yeah.
And I see some people sharing their things. I saw Dana share that they're trying to finish their first draft before they have a baby, final draft before they have a baby. That was me too. And I did it, but then I realized, there's this final. Now I'm doing my final after the baby.
Final draft for real this time, version 2. Yeah.
Seriously. Number 10, whatever. Let's see. Go ahead.
Story file says resolution is to start revising my 3 books. My other creative thing is painting.
That's cool. Cosmic Kitty wants to just keep writing every day. I want to do that too, even if it's 5 minutes. I think that would feel so good. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mirror Tail 755 says my resolution is to build consistent writing habits to try and stop procrastinating. Yeah, a habit, right?
Definitely.
I very rarely fail to brush my teeth because it's a habit, but then I just do it. It should just, yeah, habits.
Diva says, I plan to finish the first draft of my novel, and to encourage creativity, I want to listen to music and make playlists that relate to my writing. I love that. Love making playlists.
Yeah. Well, this is really cool. Alexander Hill said, I had the same feeling with my 2019 Nano project, but now all the ideas are flowing and I have more structure, and I'm excited to work on it all over again. I haven't looked at it since last summer. I love that feeling. And that's why when we'll give the advice of after you finish a draft, you should just wait before you go back to it. And that's so hard to do sometimes because you're no, I want to do it now. And sometimes after a break, you just really do have, I feel like after my 7.5 months, I have, a brand new perspective. Making them better.
Yeah. And sometimes it's really necessary. I was talking to a writer friend of mine who has been writing and publishing and just feeling really, really burnt out, but also scared to take that break of oh, what if I don't look at my work in progress for 6 months. Just like, that is okay.
Wow. Ann Nelson says that they want to write another 14,000 words on their 2022 Nano project. Once they're done with grad school after 2.5 years, I will write this summer. I will read 123 books this year, and I've read 4 so far. 123 books. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
That's a lot.
That's awesome that you've read 4 so far.
Yeah.
I know that Grant, who's the executive director of NaNoWriMo, set a resolution before he left on break, on winter break, to read more. Because we were talking as a staff how we feel like we've been reading less. So I don't know if I would read 123, but I would like to set a goal just to read, like, I don't know. Even if I did a book every month, I would be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Sorry. Someone says there's an echo. I tried to get my headphones set up before this, and then it didn't work. And then I said, I know someone's going to hear it wrong. Not wrong, but maybe on the next writing time, I'll try to fix it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine when you're closer to the computer. I think when you're
okay, I'll just give you guys a very close.
yeah.
I was trying to get ready, and I was making tea, and then I was pouring the kettle, trying to get my head, like trying to do something else, and then I looked down, and I was just pouring the kettle onto the table where my headphones were sitting, just like pouring hot water onto the headphones, and then I was like, what am I doing? Told you we're a little 2023, you know.
Starting off strong.
Yeah. I'll just sit really close. Okay. Should we move on to our next?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me open it up. Oh no. Here we go. So right now you might be working on like different things. And if you'd like to actually share in the chat what you're working on writing wise, feel free to do that if you haven't yet. And knowing that nothing helped is a totally acceptable answer. You might be revising, you might be editing, but we're gonna give you a prompt that's kind of based around writing just to get us back on the writing habit. So this one is about new beginnings because it's a new year. They can be fun, but also maybe a little bit scary. They can also be really strong sources for writing a good scene or a good memory for a character. Because the first and the last time you do something generally have a lot of narrative power behind them. So write a scene that starts with a character or yourself. If you just, journaling is totally a way to get back into creative writing. So write a scene that starts with a character or yourself trying something new for the first time. You could use the sentence, the first time I, he, she, they, we, blank was ... the first time my family had a Christmas tree, the first time, I'm just looking around at things I'm saying, so firsts. If you're like, that doesn't work for me, that's fine. Pick a different thing to write. Or if you want to just keep working on your resolutions, or maybe I'll use this time to open up my novel actually, and just like, I know, right? I might actually do it. So we can the most important thing is that we spend these 10 minutes writing or being creative, not, poking around on whatever. Okay. I'll put 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
On the clock. Oops. And I'll try to give a halfway warning too. Ready, set, right. 4.5 minutes left. All right, that was 10 minutes. Go ahead and pause. Oops. And feel free to share in the chat, what you were writing about or how many words you wrote or anything at all. I will share that I opened I opened the novel.
Yay!
It was like a psychological block. I had to like find, like, it used to just always live open. I don't know if this is what you do, but mine always just lives open on my computer, just like at the
Mhm.
bottom all the time. But I had closed it, and this was the first time it's been open since May 6th, 2022. I mean, yeah, 2022. So
That's awesome. Congrats.
thanks. And I started kind of making a list of things that I've been thinking about but hadn't written down. Um, we can either talk, did you write anything? We could talk about that, or we could talk about my discussion question, which I have planned, which is if anybody has tips for sticking with a New Year's resolution or goal. Because I know that it's easy to make them and then hard to keep them.
Yeah. I would definitely be interested if anybody has any tips on that. I was just kind of yeah, I was kind of a little like free floating, like free associating writing, which was good because I haven't actually just sat down and wrote things in a while. So
Yeah, I thought maybe you would commiserate with the person who earlier said that they were after being in grad school for 2.5 years, they were going to start writing again. So you finished somewhat recently, right?
yeah, just pretty much just about a year ago. I've been doing a little bit of writing since then. Honestly, partially because I am in a writing group with some of the people who are in my grad school cohort, and so it'll be like the day before we're supposed to meet for our writing group. I'm like, oh no, I need to write something so that I'll have something that they can look at. So I don't know. I guess that's my tip. If you want to keep your goals, is to find some outside source of accountability.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's been really helpful for me.
I know, and sometimes people share writing like you're talking about, and then I know someone who's an author, and she and another author friend just email each other, or maybe they text, I don't know, every day just to say like did it, just to say it like that they wrote, versus sharing work, but just having someone that you could check in with, and that's helpful
Yeah.
for sure. And I see other people mentioning accountability partners. We also, if you're like, well, where would I meet these people? You can find writing groups in different ways, conferences, classes. It doesn't have to be grad school. Like, you can take classes online. We also have in the NaNoWriMo forums, we have some different places where you can find groups. So I can share right now if you ever just drop in a link to where I'll drop in a few forums that might be useful to help you find people to help stay accountable.
I like Kate Foley says, I get motivated by pretty aesthetic things. So cute planners, stickers, new pens, etc. I have fun goodies teas. I'm more likely to do the activity. I like that too.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody ever done like bullet journaling. That's what it's called, right?
Oh yeah.
I've never done that, but I thought about it recently. I think the one thing that appeals to me of that is like we have a sticker calendar actually on our Now What page that's a little similar, but it's the idea that if you have a goal, and I can link to that too. If you have a goal, you could have several goals, and then like each day that you actually do it, you just add a little like check mark or sticker or something like that. Or every day you don't do it. If there's some habit you're trying to break, you just can keep track and then see a really easy visual representation of that goal. And I'll share that's the link if you want to see our sticker calendar. And those are some good ideas. Lois says they write a little bit every day and try to write a lot in a week. And I was going to mention that one time my partner was setting just very small goals, kind of one at a time, in that same vein. So I think this person was flossing. He was going to try to floss, for a minute every day or something. And it worked, like starting really, really small, I think can be a good idea. I've heard the same thing about like, if you're trying to start a habit, you should start really easy. So like, rather than exercise, it's like you say to yourself, I'm going to put my exercise shoes on today. And if you do more than that, great. But if that's all you do, like you did the thing. And for me, it was like, I'm going to open my novel. Great, you did it. I don't have anything extra I do is extra. But it sounds silly, but I actually feel really proud of myself. And also speaking of accountability partners, I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't said I was going to do it. I'm not kidding.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Whew. I don't know what bullet journaling is. It's a thing that I hear people say.
Yeah, I'm not in the know. As far as I can tell, it's like a specific kind of journaling. I'm not going to try to explain it because I don't know enough about it, and I'm sure that some of you do. But
Me too.
um,
When I said bullet journal, I kind of meant the way I've seen it. Yeah, it's like a do-it-yourself planner. Like when people, it's like a grid. I was just, thinking, it's like writing, sort of drink water, went on a walk, and then every day that you do one of those things, you do a little check mark or a little sticker, and then at the end of the month, you can see all the things you do. Atomic Habits. I'll Google that up.
I
Cool
know
idea.
you were talking about stickers and trying to submit your novel at some point this year. I have a friend who keeps stickers for rejections that she gets.
Nice.
And so it's like, when you're sending out your novel, you're probably gonna have to do it a lot before before you get any bites. But the way she's kind of turned it around is be like, oh, it's another sticker that I get to add to my collection when I get a rejection. So
Totally. And I know that people have set that goal. Like there's some famous writer whose goal was to collect like 100 rejections. Or maybe that's just I have friends who do that. I don't know.
mhm.
And I've always said to myself, like it's easy to say that. And then when you get the rejections, you're like, oh, like it's hard not to. I think the idea is like if you make that a goal, then you're not disappointed. You just
Yeah,
really put yourself out there and it means you took a risk.
yeah, totally.
But I need to say that to myself too, I guess.
And transcriber said last year I started with saying I will write 10 minutes a day this week, and then I would add 10 minutes each week. I kept it up all of October and November, and then things fell apart in December. That's really great though. That's a good long time to keep adding 10 minutes.
Totally.
I love that.
Um, that's a cool idea. Yeah. I think someone said, are we going to keep doing more sprints? Oh, Savvy writes books. Yes, we're going to do one more sprint. And I think we can start it now.
Yeah.
And for this prompt, it up. You can either keep working on that first time scene or story you started earlier, or if you finished with that or it wasn't working with you, I'll give you this prompt. Write a story about a New Year's resolution gone horribly wrong. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't have an idea for that, but I feel like it would be a fun story. Personally, I might keep working on what I was working on, looking at my novel, because it felt very supportive doing it with a bunch of people keeping me accountable. So, all right. Let's take 10 minutes for this one too.
Yeah, I think we could do a little longer if we wanted.
Should we do 12 minutes?
Yeah, let's do 12.
Okay. All right. 12 minutes. That sounds good. Ready, set, go. 3 minutes left. All right, go ahead and pause. That was 12 minutes. And go ahead and share in the chat. You can share how many words you wrote. You can share what you were writing about. You can share, you haven't already, or virtual, your writing resolution or creativity resolution for the year. Yeah, I was just like a little floating around that one. I don't have anything real to share. Except this.
I'm hearing a little bit of an echo for me.
Oh, sorry.
You.
You want to fill in my I was just gonna say, I'm gonna fix these. I hope I didn't ruin my headphones by pouring hot water on them. I probably didn't. But I was gonna say, I was just kind of floating around. I don't have anything to share except the truth, which is your old writing is always both better and worse than you remember it, you know? But usually I think better.
Those are some good words of wisdom. Like
yeah. Yeah. How about you or anyone else? Share in the chat. Savvy Writes Books wrote 460 words.
I just saw that Stephanie asked when is our next meeting, and we haven't set a date for our next virtual write-in yet. But I did put a link in the chat to all of our upcoming events that we've got going on, and those will be updated as we confirm more. But we've got next week, we've got a webcast about being a NaNoWriMo writer, going to a full-time author. We also do events on Zoom. So next Monday we have it's a writing sprint, but also some yoga led by Bree outside. So it's writing yoga and word sprints. So if one of your New Year's resolutions is to do some more movement and also to write, that would be a good one to look for. But yeah, that's all in the link there that I put.
Amazing. Sorry, my dog is digging on the top. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second and
Let's see. Grace Powell got 383 words. Cosmic Kitty total word count 602.
Whoa.
Nice. Transcriber 466.
Cosmic Kitty total word count. Oh, you just said that one maybe. Anyway, 602. Oh, that's so many. I just got excited.
Huh?
I got excited by that word count. I didn't know that one.
Mrs. Hendrick got 461 words. I'm a workaholic, so I've had several resolutions go wrong. I like that.
Me too. And I'll also say that if you want, if one of your resolutions was to finish your novel or to revise your novel, we have our months in January and February we call the Now What month, because we want to try to help you answer the question, I wrote a novel, now what? So we provide some resources and tools around finishing your novel or revising and editing your novel. And it's not the same, it's not a community writing event like NaNoWriMo. So there's no, big community goal because everyone's kind of doing their own thing. But you can set we have suggestions for setting individual goals on the website, and we offer resources that you can explore at your own pace. Plus those events that Catherine mentioned, some of them will be, we often have, like we'll do a webcast with an editor or an Instagram takeover from an agent who can answer questions. Yeah. Whew, tired. No words, rested, not sleeping, tired. I got some energy now, says Precious. That's great. I have a little bit of energy and I also feel a little bit tired.
You did a lot of hard work opening up that document today.
No, my finger. Mirrortail 755 says total today is 431, which is a lot more than I've written in the last couple of weeks. That's great. And I think that's a great way to look at it too, which is like, it's sometimes things seem small, although to me 431 doesn't seem small, but anything that's progress more than you've done before.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, definitely counts. Julie got 246 more words and continuing the new scene. Candace C got 462 and said, this is fun and I was surprised that I came up with something to write. I love those moments when you like surprise yourself with I don't know, with something.
Me too. Okay, before we go, do you want to play a quick game of love it or leave it?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a thing and then you can't choose the middle. You have to say you love it. Oh, actually, no, it's not love it or leave it. We're going to say this or that. So you have to pick one or the other.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
All right.
And you can choose in the chat as well. This or that. Here's a trope. Enemies to lovers, friends to lovers. Which one?
Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers? I think I'm gonna have to go with friends to lovers. That's the one that I write most often.
I like that. I'm a real enemies to lovers. I think I've told you that before. Like if I watch, like when I watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm real like Zuko.
Oh, I mean, I also do love Zuko. I think, yeah, no, that's a good point. When I'm watching stuff, I think I'm more of an enemies to lovers person, but when I'm writing stuff, I'm more of a friends to lovers person.
Yeah. Okay. This one you can say in the chat as well. Okay. Morning writer, evening writer. Sorry, evening writers. I didn't. Evening writer. So I used to be a morning writer, but now my mornings are busy with the baby, and so he goes to bed at like 6:30. So I think I'm going to have to become an evening writer.
Yes, join us. I cannot write in the mornings to save my life.
I think I have this idea that I can't write at night, but I think I could. Like, I think I'm going to have to figure it out. So,
yeah, great.
Well, you've got a lot of evening writers. What? How is everyone an evening writer? That's so fun.
Because mornings are terrible.
Yeah. Okay, world building, character building.
Ooh, world building. I am very guilty of writing like pages and pages and pages of world building and then being like, wait, but where's the plot though?
I am so bad at world building. I feel like I love writing dialogue. I love building characters. And then when I'm writing, they're just like kind of like blobbing around in like some blank space,
Some
you know?
blank space, yeah.
I just can't, I like cannot picture. I think maybe I just walk through the world not noticing
Huh.
even the setting I'm in. Like I need to spend more attention on it.
Kind of funny because right now I sort of look like I'm in a blank space.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. See, okay. So there's a lot of evening writers, but but I have some character. Yes, some character people. World building, you know, I admire you because I just one time I tried to write like a sci-fi book, and I got like this is the worst NaNoWriMo I've ever had. I got like 100 words in or something, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't know anything. Like, how does it work?
Oh man. See that, yeah, the first book that or the first like novel draft that I finished, the entire like 20-page first chapter was just me being like, this is the equivalent of the downfall of the Roman Empire, but in my fantasy world.
Oh my gosh, I just read, we have to go, but I started reading the sequel to the Bear and the Nightingale.
Yes.
Talking of world building, oh my
Mm,
gosh.
I
Those
love those
makes
books.
me want to like, I hate the cold, but somehow I want to be like in medieval Russia on like an oven, you know, like I'm so good at that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you for playing this round of this or that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you all for coming, for sharing, for reading. We'll be back. I can share the schedule our different events. And you can always, follow us on social media or the forums here.
Or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to get notifications when we're doing new live events and stuff like that. But yeah, we're happy to have you here and be writing with you again in the new year.
Yeah. I was gonna say we can be streamers and say like smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.